Refinancing. Is it really a good idea to refinance or not? Well, that just depends on every individual, and every single case is different. For example, I had an individual came and asked me, he was on an ARM and he's going to be moving, and I told him, well, if you're going to be moving eventually, there's no reason to redo your ARM, especially at the current rate that he had. And with the interest rates continuing to go down, his ARM payment continued to go down also. So there was no reason for him to go and spend a bunch of money to go and do a refinance. Also, what you have to look at is, just because you're going to be dropping your interest rate, if you're not going to be dropping your interest rate, I would think at least a point, it probably isn't worthwhile for you to refinance, because the closing costs you're going to see are going to be excessive. Yes, you're going to be getting your current escrow account back from the new escrow account that you have to build. You'll get your old one back. And yes, you're probably going to end up skipping 2 payments. So some broker or lender can come up and say, well, it's actually going to be a wash, because in what it cost you, you're going to be getting the escrow account back, you're going to skip 2 payments, so it's really not going to cost you any money. Well, that's true. It hasn't cost you any money out of pocket, except for possibly the appraisal that you had to pay for up front. The problem with that is all of a sudden now you may have gone and say, okay, I was on owing 25 years on a 30-year note, and now all of a sudden I'm back to a 30-year note, and yes, I might have a lower payment, but all the equity that I threw back in there, I now owe more money than I owed in the beginning, and it's on a longer term. So if I had intentions of, say, staying in the house, I may have put myself in a position that I don't need to be. So everybody's issue is different. You have to look at them all a little bit differently. If it's a matter of just cash flow for some people, then yes, you should refinance if at all possible. But be aware of the facts of what happens is that all of a sudden you're going to owe more money. You're going to go right back to the time frame that you had before, and for some people that may be the only recourse that they actually have, but not always the best of ideas.